NPP's member of parliament be say Ghana by under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama any ato forcing at the emrebi eba Ghana or say or no Dr. Gideon Boako or say on tiasie Bajoti.
What this cross-border e-commerce VAT monitoring platform is going to do is that any transaction any Ghanaian makes across borders on the internet, government is going to apply a VAT on that transaction. What it means is that if you are a Ghanaian student at Legon or the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology or University of Cape Coast or anywhere, and you want to order a textbook on Amazon or any of those platforms, you are likely to pay 2 different VATs because the cross-border VAT system operates on 2 principles. One is the origin principle and the other is the destination principle. And that becomes double taxation. We've asked the government at the committee level to explain to us how it is going to mitigate the risk of double taxation. That answer is not forthcoming. It also applies to our sisters and brothers at the universities elsewhere who are doing e-commerce, who are ordering hair from Thailand, who are ordering hair from Brazil, who are ordering items from China, elsewhere. Any transaction that you make henceforth, once this one is approved, you're going to pay VAT on that. It applies to digital transactions as well. So those of you who are champions and lovers of movies, and you are always eager to go to Netflix to watch movies, any transaction that you make with Netflix, you are going to pay VAT on that. So if you're a young guy and you use movies to kind of whet your appetite and enjoy yourselves, this government is going to make it expensive for you henceforth. These are the issues that we are raising. If you use Starlink for your internet services, you are going to pay VAT on that. This is a government who said betting tax was not good and abolished the betting tax for populist reasons, but today is introducing social media tax. Because this thing we are talking about is nothing but social media tax, such that any transactions that you do, you're going to pay VAT on that. I stand to be corrected, but I want to hazard the thought that it is likely that even if you boost your video, you're a TikToker, you're a blogger or whoever, and you boost your video or picture or anything on Instagram, on Facebook or Twitter, on TikTok, government is going to charge you for that. So the younger generation of this country should pay attention to that.
Well,
order in the court.
We're going to put him right in the court and ask him questions. That is Dr. Gideon Boako. Are you spokesperson for Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Was it a byway e-levy efiho on tiasie? A buying the cars obey e-levy. I'm going to prove it to you. Say Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so case oba obey e-levy efiho. But I'm going to show you something. One was a NPP. And no, I think I got one of the comments, and I think so man Boako from me from UK saying say, and says NDC as a political party, but I've taken it as my duty. Mr. Obian to America. Say NPP ni udin trobia na yese manhu anamante meteoto. Dr. Gideon Boako, a PhD holder in economics, wouldn't be NPP. For what surprises me is say most of them are lawyers and PhD holders. Doctors. Dr. Gideon Boako ought to know. And he's misleading the good people of Ghana. Dr. Gideon Boako, wo na wakachere say, abayin no, esa abayin ni kipi taxes be our money because momoko IMF no, it was part of the conditionalities of IMF. I will show you. Remember when we NPP ni apacho tobo. Remember when says papa we say, ojini dia eye wawasem, onjini ninswa eye wawasem. My duty is to expose him. Original floor of the House, Parliament, any press conference, we say, Odintro. In accordance with OECD, any UN, IMF conditions are Momoko sign for Ghana. No, they told Ghana, say, your taxing system, no, we should expand it. And then services BTC, my main list services BTC, Google, Facebook, TikTok, Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, they operate in Ghana, but they don't pay anything in Ghana. Mr. O Ghana, who boost to page, and our video on Google, and also on Facebook, and also on YouTube. YouTube and charge. How much charge? But ask them, do they pay anything to Ghana government? No. We are still Kuroba and on charges our companies, we say tax. But then patch our women. So I say, country a womb, so I'm on our women. Every country in the world charge these companies. Every country in the world. Let me give you a very typical example. Abra UK, every European Union, no. Ireland remained the only country in the Union. No, more brofo, or English-speaking country. So what the Irish government actually did, they say, or impose a lesser tax on this kind of companies, which is about 12.5, to attract them to come to Ireland. I think somewhere last year, and a EU country almost said taxing on the this kind of companies, so they impose an additional revenue on Ireland to charge from this kind of companies. And my Ireland is shooting a tax from 12.5%, and they call 15%, and then additional 3 million engine free Google and then Microsoft and then Apple for her. So what this particular government is doing is say, on TSS, these kind of companies in MG Ghana for Sika, they don't pay any tax. So they decided to negotiate with them and then pay taxes. Taxes. Jeffrey individual. This kind of companies, that is a buying. We need a buying to get in revenue. And then there should be VAT on digital services. Netflix, you subscribe from Ghana. Right? YouTube Premium, Apple Music, Microsoft 360, cloud hosting, Ghana Fosika, Ghana Nibia or Ghana or website. You pay money to these companies. They don't pay anything. So, this particular program. So, I'll see a building website from our contact me on +358 4653 72649. Open website, open app, or website that has not contact me. We all pay this kind of money to these companies, but they don't pay anything to the country. So what the buying is proposing is what the system be about, we're going to tax these kind of companies, not the individual directly, but we have to tax Sikabia, Google, Jeffrey Ghana for honor. They have to pay in VAT to a buying. Sikabia, Apple Music, Jeffrey Ghana for honor. They have to pay in VAT to a buying. Dr. Gideon Boako, who knows all these kind of things, are dying. NP before we have the men, and that is what they are saying. And the Dr. Gideon Boako, tell him say what he is saying is lies. He should prove to you facts. Also, the latter part of saying okay. I mentioned what he was saying. Dr. Gideon Boako can't say or say I stand to be corrected though. With it, what was all him so didn't throw T.
It's introducing social media tax, because this thing we are talking about is nothing but social media tax, such that any transactions that you do, you're going to pay VAT on that. I stand to be corrected, but I want to hazard the thought.
What I say? Osheda. I say I stand to be corrected. Meaning that he knows that someone work or boy. Or see a friend in social media tax or boy who share city who or the throw and your social media assembly na buy nekwaje. And your social media assembly, these kind of companies are getting enough revenue from the country, and in accordance with OECD and UN Convention on how we need to expand our tax net, we need to charge them. Dr. Gideon Boako knows all these kind of things. Or not to say, and this are mine, say, more eliminate e-levy. My main corner member, Dr. Bawumia. Abra no, Dr. Gideon Boako no. The spokesperson for the alleged Dr. Bawumia no. Tiasema Dr. Bawumia nankasa ekafa e-levy home. But you did it.
In my humble opinion, the ECD, with appropriate privacy protections, will be the ultimate weapon in our fight against corruption, because it will provide transparency, reduce the risk of fraud, robbery, tax avoidance, and money laundering, since it will be easy to track the movement of money and identify suspicious activity. The ECD will quicken the pace of Ghana's move towards a cashless or near cashless society. Ladies and gentlemen, to move towards a cashless economy, however, we have to encourage the population to use electronic channels of payment. To accomplish this, under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished.
What you say? Bawumia na Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ena di e-levy bae. Bawumia ko election na NDC ka say be e-levy free one. Then he quickly shifted to tell Ghanaians say ono no obey president obey e-levy afi ho. That was alleged Dr. Bawumia. Abra okasa asem no. Na Dr. Gideon Boako ye ne okasa no was the spokesperson for alleged 38. Dr. Gideon Boako. Dr. Bawumia gina simpie so. Mamen san kan ubiem. Listen very carefully. Abra Bawumia ka say e-levy will be abolished. Men pese me din to that will be aso.
Administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished.
What you say? Bawumia say, so person will expand the services in the country. Now we amount for burden say, among handle cash kesia. E-levy will be abolished. Bawumia kasa asem no, na Dr. Gideon Boako we ne or no this antro we no. He was the spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia. I'm going to prove to you that the man has no credibility. Okay, the PhD no kwa. NDC be for me aban no. You remember, at of force called parliament, eko yi betting tax, e-levy dey every hono. The same Dr. Gideon Boako and ne okasa you know. Listen to what he went there to ask at of force.
I think by and large he's done his part, but I think that unfortunately myself, for instance, I didn't have the opportunity to to add follow-up questions because take for instance, he answered the question about e-levy, betting tax and said he was going to scrap them. Then he was asked the question, how are you going to make up for the revenue shortfalls? Then he said he's going to cut expenditure. Cutting expenditure does not address the problem because in actual sense, if you look at our debt sustainability analysis, the key thing that is embedded in the IMF program is debt service to revenue ratio. It's not debt service to expenditure ratio. So you may cut expenditure, but your debt service will be matched with revenue, which is a key component of the IMF program. So when you scrap the taxes, there's a revenue shortfall. You need an increased revenue to match the debt service burden. It is not a matter of expenditure. So how do you then increase revenue to make up for the shortfalls that you have created by scrapping the taxes?
What? Dr. Gideon Boako no. Odi Bawumia jima Bawumia ka so be cancel e-levy no. NDC by ne ko cancel e-levy a. Osan engineer parliament enim ka kire say e-levy is a part of the IMF conditionalities. It is out of force you be in parliament that can't Ghana for so cancel e-levy. Dr. Gideon Boako ni bisa NDC aban say obedi enye sika e dey develop mine no. One person no. O say aban ni be dey enye sika e dey develop mine no. Abera aban ni e-levy fro. Aban we e-levy mo tax 1 year 7 months ni aban no mo obosia. Aban no e mo obosia. Meaning Atoforsi knew what he was about. But Dr. Gideon Boako also a PhD holder, the spokesperson for alleged Dr. Bawumia, throw questions about Abane will come to a standstill. Then he went further to say Abane betima survive there, just Abane introducing more taxes. I mean for then Atoforsi is not introducing more taxes, but rather no going to tax Abrofuno Mobo Ghana no. I mean Adias Aqua Pakura no. Dr. Gideon Boako no osan this also say the only time I buy any betimi enye sika e da siesie man no we dey no obeka
service burden. It is not a matter of expenditure. So how do you then increase revenue to make up for the shortfalls that you have created by scrapping the taxes? Therefore insist that the only thing you can go around it is to introduce another tax. And he certainly indicated in his presentation that there are two ways to go about it. It is either you cut your expenditure or you introduce another tax. We don't want a situation whereby you give with left hand and you take with the right hand. They have to be explicit. If they are cutting the taxes, they cut the taxes. They don't introduce any new taxes. You cannot cancel or scrap e-levy, scrap betting tax, and go behind and create another tax to fill the gap.
Do you foresee that?
That is exactly what is going to happen. Look, there is no other option. If they indeed want to scrap e-levy, betting tax, the COVID-19, the emission taxes, the only other thing they can do in order to match up with the debt service to revenue ratio as enshrined the IMF program and captured in the debt sustainability analysis is to have another tax introduced through the
one NPP for. Say one kai anime we are. They will confuse the masses more. Or say, Onubisa John the many mama now to force says so cut all these kind of taxes are unyesika and for mumano. And the BMA IMF conditionalities now more NPP for the coin, and I can't say or mama taxes and kaho. And I John Mama now to force said there be bit me is taxes no a developer mino, a bra yam mobosia, and all no say or so who or more bois. Now the only means of making me there is I didn't just almost say introducing more taxes. And this about Bemu, ye 11 those kind of taxes in every hall. 1 year, 7 months in Obian Kobo Bosia, ye developing mino. Atofforcing is thinking outside the box, expanding the tax net. Kwa brofuno mobile Ghanaians, Koronono, Google, IMF, Facebook, whatever. No, kwa tax almost said that BC kana mundi free Ghana. No, you need to pay something to that buyer. Akwa we asin abase on tiase. Now, ono fere in social media tax. But yo,
Order in the court.
do you think that this man has credibility enough? Do you think so? Be honest.
Order in the court.
So Dr. Gideon Boako has credibility enough. That is up to you. But that is the kind of question that Dr. Gideon Boako. I mean, kind of messages about Nigeria, but they are the way to say platform, Charlie, you didn't come boom. What I say, need to be so. But say, Obana say, why be who are going to NPP before? Would they listen to what I'm saying? If it doesn't make sense, tell me. Call your friends and family members to come and watch and listen to Truth with our brother Munufie Kofi Azuma, Charlie Medasi. Oh yeah, there. Mental freedom say they are all clueless, lousy mats. Don't mind them. NPP for no. We have them and we have them. No. Am I being in a Danson Lomon say Captain Smart isn't NDC member and therefore cannot stand for NDC. The NDC should be very, very careful with him. Captain Smart isn't true worthy. Why are there? Faustina say good evening, sir. Foresee good evening. Bibi Aboko there. That's it. Bernard Osei, and as Osei, Bernard say, please, Mr. Munufie, if the president of Ghana cannot bring back Ken, NDC is going to lose 2028 elections. Wow, Charlie. Ken so na also when I get on mano. And they say it's also Ghana pass with the OT order. The tax next needs to be expanded in a reasonable way to help build infrastructure, not e-levy, which went to the pockets of NPP. William Cap, they are or the that's true. I will say, I know the NPP for Nigerian one say, the man say now to force it to me boom is why e-levy be if you want to be away. That is what is worrying them now. Many years, even Roseworthy Long is a big job creation. Your car must be checked totally everywhere on the car before issuing the roadworthy. So if a little fault, you must go repair before your sticker. Exactly. That is how we need to make money in the society. What I say? See, I know there. But the NPP for arguing say expanded the tax net and means something different. Robert, also you're watching me from UK. And that's it, Robert. These are some of the things I want the NDC to rubbish immediately at surface, but they will wait till the public consume it before they do. I mean, yeah, that's true, but say what I say, what I say, maybe who you have, I'll go back and map a total. Until Motua, among Yai Nimana, among Johnson, I said, don't get here, Charlie Biabo there. And that's it. General opposite general and your president wrong. You ready home come on mention up and Madame and no one 101. No, actually, the reason why you think say General Mosquito should be president. Why Gareba Mohammed said lying fools. Don't mind them, Gareba. That is what they've been doing. Omadin Trona Chiraman for dear. It's a shame that Malik has become a recruitment agency. So they are short of ideas of creating jobs in Ghana, and what new is Malik bringing on board? That's a very good question, Arminia Obisano. Why are they? NPP is a party of scrambling. Mickey Dia and this is going to use Ken to win hands down. Joshua, and so why are they? Efe Sam, hello, Mr. Munufie. Efe, we are Boako there. Me da say, Mamemfa NPP jandam bia omo play inside metro. If we are open the phone line, sorry. Now afidi edim common album. Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, a private businessman, a bona juma e Ghana. And I think the Ghanaians love Ibrahim Mahama. May I'm wishing the day Ibrahim Mahama could have become a president e Ghana. I'll be very happy with that. Now, NPP for say they are not satisfied with Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. And listen to what they are saying.
Ibrahim Mahama, Dama Mina, we are the man. No. Do you have parliamentary approval or shall I say mine and all the gold board? Why would you Dama mine? Dama mine, Ediama Union. Wine beer, so yes, by a shim. Which is fact, I know dear. We are saying to categorically say, Dama mine, MPP, will investigate. And yet, Munufie be the president here, need your box side amount. Supreme Court make categorical say before they give you mining list, you need to have parliamentary approval. I want people to understand, say, Ibrahim Mahama, Dama Miner, we are the man, no. Do you have parliamentary approval or shall I say, mining or the gold board?
Well, that is NPP's jandam. Karachi was a mining list, a mining lease. Because they've told him what he needs to hear. But let me educate him a little bit. Now, I will not go deep into that. Based on Article 268, I think, of Ghana's constitution, it say we mining lease in the country. I say a buying gold, a good deal be a Ghana piano, a Ghana buying there. So through the minister in charge, buying that they need to sign contract and then other things, lease agreement and other things based on Article 268 of Ghana's constitution. And I'll say Supreme Court aka say the mining lease you need parliamentary approval. Yes. To say Article 268, Supreme Court you need a parliamentary approval. And then based on the case, what is the Republic versus High Court, Accra, ex-party Attorney General, Exton Cubic Group Limited. And also Supreme Court affirmé say mining lease, you need parliamentary approval to do that. To send your kind of lawyer being a catcher and NPP lawyers, and that is what they've been singing. And ya catcher and on to DHD and worker. Into Article 268, ex-party, Exton, the also eka. But the question you need to ask yourself is, why say or the call parliament? Is it Ibrahim Mahama? The answer is no. And Ibrahim Mahama say or the call parliament. A call parliament, we need to test majority of parliament to rectify that particular mining lease. Or no, when people from parliament to call parliament to you say I don't know. Oh, their evidence now was a parliament and pass it, I don't know. Because when this had declared to test majority, and people can decide they will not come, they will do it. They have no evidence. They have no evidence. In fact, I can give you, okay, Wyoming. Wyoming Kufuor issue, no. Wyoming had a company and Ghana buying no Muslim agreement. They went outside the country to get loan to come and build sports stadium. A court to say, and ya Wyoming adwuma say, as on the agreement to call parliament to a binding as or the call. Tell them I can. The Ibrahim Mahama say, and found call parliament when Ibrahim Mahama said, they say, as or the call. And they say, parliament, because Ibrahim Mahama is a private person or near parliament and on your minister. Or no, the company in the year you make it. And this a binary rectifier, and you NPP no was said, no, or you wouldn't even know. And Mr. Wish NPP ni and I say, or Kasaba. Now what's in who? Because one say, or my try, say, they will get Ibrahim Mahama vis-a-vis chairman to media, but in fact, there are two different issues. chama untumi na nkasa ne call court no kodi ni nsem one na kotum ebacho upese ofre live on the show a obetimi abaso number e dey adwuma no is what is on our screen +358 465372 ebacho the number is only active abra me wa live after live no ebacho enye adwuma Mental freedom, Willie, please, what do you want from Saudi Arabia? Hey, I just made the answer my member hobby. What they have a family hobby? Why? A family hobby. Now, I'm going to Saudi because I say Saudi the pa into a family hobby. Mental freedom now, they must be hobby. I say, Graham Christian say NBP economic analysis and lawyers are all dead-headed. I mean, just to say. What do you got as what can I get about? As I been to be no mutim. Kura. Be no kura. We are being in our Pascal. William Captain, stupid illiterate in mind and people talking gibberish. Sako will be an Anubia or Kasa, Sebi, on Kenyans as him. But I don't know who is advising them. And NPP for the Munimia, Boyo no. These two people, your boy too has mouth to talk for the NPPs. The party no agu. Because I say NPP ni nyansa ni bi ani mo kasa momo. Nti o pese hwan na me kasa momo. Bi ni ho. Ni no te you watching me from Israel. Oh ni why are dear. Say when yamre on this particular live show na idin komone bom. Faustina just become a member. Why are dear. Oh Faustina why are dear. You just became a member. Why are dear. Faustina why are dear. Thank you. Very 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 much. Pacho unya subscribe ya ubetime subscribe to the platform. Ubetime be a member of the platform, so I'll be also very happy with that. Yes, it is a whole person about live on the show, so number on that screen so you can join the show live. Kofi Azuma, I dear Charlie, me ba show you today. I mean, one year you know, maybe ya me no wa enable kakra. Eti Mr. Oshi NPP ni bi asa omode Ibrahim Mahama ebe join ne chama untumi asem na waka jenso onkunku sin ade. Yes, I was the Supreme Court. I can't. I know. Sorry, now I'm not the Supreme Court. Supreme Court can say DNA Supreme Court and because I can't call them him. A DNA Supreme Court can in that particular case. When I mean, yes, I call we be sent with him because I can't know. And then who as individual now nam hono. What be say what they oh can NPP power. Now walk out kwa again and be a businessman. Hey, now by they have a power no. As NPP party there power if any power there. Mom maybe more. I say makaho. Because if you are only waiting to come to power, na sabi, what the abedin someone there, why ne bema wo waba power no? Based on what we are saying, that means power and power there. And ya there NPP ni bema power. And to me say, which NPP ni no also bema power no be easy. But who lady back also tell her now, she said, they no na you come to power, obi anko pacho, eba power, or hini bi adam say hey no to away. What the new na wo agoro na wo ni so.
Order in the court.
Shamak Israel Yehovah, Elahenu Yehovah Ekat. We ahata et Yehovah.
All right, make sure you all share this live stream on all your social medias. Whenever you see Munufie is live streaming, and that's it. The party is actually confused because we NPP near. Who she for now? What be some questions? You people need to tell us something very simple because it seems to say a buying a yetisono. NPP full name the direction quite the Ghana and econo. So minima, they will revise their own notes and then think differently. Because that's a being of them. Like play, NPP will never see power again. They will end up just like their name. Unless the CPP, no.
I woke up with tears on my pillow tonight. The road felt heavy, I could not see the light. Friends kept talking, but they didn't know the battles I was fighting deep down.
Emily say, do Parliament have to approve people who sell gold to gold board? Oh, so onima sema woka. But I say, obi na ti we bi na actually say mushi bi amon kan say, ya chicha me huntumi atum dia, ya ba ya ba chi Ibrahim Mahama. Na power no be ne ba. What they say we nim nyansa kwa na nkatwen na oba power na wabaye ne awo kan. All to opposition, what the 8 years in office? What opposition 1 year 7 months? Oh, say oba power, oba be punish nipa no tie konwa so no. Na ne oba ne aba power no. And this any pan so be everything possible. Emma won't remember power. And I don't know, NPP for no party pa we pa de make ho be challenge kamisu wo. Be kan ho be an kamisu. Can who be pa we NPP next starting soon. Kofi Azuma, we are sending you much love from Pennsylvania on this blissful Wednesday. Minia me da say me pa chawa unya subscribe here no bit me a subscribe and so ede amame. Minia the question you have a question. Couple of weeks ago you said if anyone wanted to help with websites and AI stuff, we should reach out. What's the best contact if not this one? I think so. Oh, this is my personal number. You can call me. My number, I don't know. You can call me at any time that you want. Why? So anybody who also, why are they? Why can't me? Anybody who also wants to learn anything about AI, you can contact me. I have a website, a YouTube page called AI with William. I take my time to bring out new updates on AI and how you can use AI to create jobs and other things for yourself. That is my personal number. You can send me WhatsApp messages. You can call me. You can go to that particular platform, AI with William, and you can also comment, whatever you want to do. And so, where are they? I mean, yeah. No, Bob say, your finance minister ran away to go and live in another country, but somehow you think Ghanaians will just hand you power. Say, Kinufurata and Magana, the NPP should forget about coming to power. The best bet for them is to bring Kinufurata back to the country. And only beat me home mobile say ampa. It be more beat me. But as it stand, yes, how many people from air finance minister no DBA will be an once and Kahana in a Yereko. Dennis Medakalabaji, Oko, you can loan him so bar. You're targeting and combat. Francis say, just want to know if they are witches don't we hunt them? Is that not what the Osofos do? And if they are political witches, who should hunt them? They say, Yoko boss is saying, Remonacha and they be hunt you. Remonacha and they be hunt you. In the end, before Nipa Wichino, could I Remonacha? What is Remona? Because all the archers no be a man. Mental readers, NPP never again. Let's all help wipe them out of Ghana politics. They are very diabolical. Party no good. Power perfect and power there. Nobody's gonna come again. All right, Mr. Fonti said, BBN, I think I'll end the live stream here today. And tomorrow, 7 p.m. Ghana time, I'll be live again. Now, in discuss Ghana, because I see a Ghana, see what I say, Dana, we need to come live and then redeem Ghana. Ghana is the only country that we have, because if BB3 is here, we be no Togo, enye, we be no Burkina, enye, Cote d'Ivoire, enye, ehena woko. But BBN will beat me ako. So we need to do this kind of stuff and then protect Ghana. So again, I think that I have a PayPal account. So if anybody also wants to help in donating anything to this, the coverage of this particular live streaming, you can also use PayPal, william.amankona@gmail.com. And also it's active. Etichart Johnson, I said, don't get here. Etichart, I say, I'll get time for you. Then we discuss this issue. You tell me why you think that Mosquito should be the president of Ghana. Now, what do some I'm will be at say. Because me so the next year when this design will go and then present a new leader. And this any leader and about any power. But teacher, why did Johnson say don't get here decide not to come at all? But anyway, let's leave it up to them, right? Come
24-hour economy no, I baby, they organize.